heard from one woman who even said that the same basket of groceries that she regularly buys has now effectively doubled. Take a listen.
I feel like the prices are ridiculous now. It's to the point where it's going to be harder for people to shop because the prices are just insane. Literally, yes, because last week I like literally for the same amount of stuff that I bought, I literally paid like maybe 30-40 bucks, and now it's like $75 for like 3 bags of groceries. It's like completely insane.
Man, don't get me started on these grocery prices, dog. I swear I go to the store like every other day and that joint's like $50 trip and I be having like 2 or 3 items. Like, it's insane, bro. I feel like if I were to go and get everything at once for whatever reason mentally, like that's like it'd be like $500 or like just something crazy, you know what I mean? Versus me just getting little by little, you know, day by day kind of thing. But every trip is expensive to the grocery store now. It's insane.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Joy Report. In today's video, we're going to talk about how Trump's tariffs and trade wars are heavily affecting the American people. Have you looked at the price of eggs lately? Notice how something that used to be a cheap kitchen staple is now almost a luxury item? It's not just your imagination. Grocery prices are out of control, and it's not just because of inflation or global supply chain issues. The truth is deeper, more political, and yes, more painful. It starts with Trump and the reckless trade wars he launched, and it continues with the very people who cheered him on. The MAGA voters who helped him bring this mess upon America. If this is the kind of content you enjoy, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing so that YouTube may recommend it to a wider audience. And so now, without further ado, guys, let's go straight into this video. But first, let me play you a few videos on this matter, and I'll come back with my commentary. As a side note, all credit goes to the creators of these videos.
All important groceries will be affected as well. Matt Gutman is at a grocery store in Los Angeles. And Matt, tell us what you're seeing there.
Hey, good morning, Michael. I mean, when it comes to groceries, economists project that if consumers are made to absorb the entirety of the 20% import tariffs on Europe, things like this, olive oil from Italy, $20 now, it'll be up to $24. And something else that folks are really not going to like, alcohol could also rise by that 20% as well. But not just imported alcohol from Europe, but also domestically produced alcohol because of the tariffs on aluminum and on glass. Something else, seafood. The USDA says about 80% of seafood consumption in the U.S. comes from high tariff countries. India, Indonesia, China, Canada, Vietnam. So that could rise. But economists say the folks that will start to feel the pinch the soonest are low-income families.
I've been walking around this house confused as hell since I've been back from the grocery store. I just spent $78.39 and nothing can go in my mouth or my belly. Bitch, I'm finna take this shit back. Let me show you guys what I got. I've been trying to figure out if I've been got. Nothing here can go in my belly at all. While I was at the register, I kept looking to see if I was scanning things more than once. I stopped at my car. I said, this can't be right. Now I'm home and I just carried in 3 bags that I could have brought in on my bad shoulder, my bad arm. And I said, this is not lining up. What did I get? What the hell type shit is this? This is all I got. This all I got. What is this?
Y'all, I am on fire right now. Like, I'm so angry right now. So, I was supposed to just run to Publix to get a couple items, you know, for dinner tonight. We're going to do shrimp and grits. And so I picked up the items, picked up a couple more items. My buggy was nowhere near full. I probably had 20 items, maybe 15, 20 items. So, y'all, I am so mad right now, right? It's really not a lot. This is the extended part of the paper. Y'all, let me tell you something.
Let me tell y'all something right now. I am so angry. Seriously. Do you know 3 years ago what this bill would have been? Maybe even 2 years ago. This would have been, I'm not lying, a $65 bill. Y'all, this shit was $154. And I didn't even buy meat. We have the shrimp at home. I didn't buy any meat. No meat is on here. I almost said, lady, just take all this shit out my buggy. $154. Ugh! Y'all know what I could have did with $154? I'm so angry.
When Trump came into office, he promised to put America first to his supporters. It sounded patriotic and tough. They loved the way he talked about winning and beating other countries in trade. But here's the thing. Global trade isn't a football game. It's complex. It's built on cooperation, relationships, and balance. And when Trump started slapping tariffs on everything from steel and aluminum to Chinese electronics and agricultural imports, the global economy didn't sit quietly. Other countries fought back. Tariffs are taxes, plain and simple. But Trump sold them like a punishment for foreign nations. What he didn't say was that American consumers and businesses would be the ones actually paying those taxes. He didn't tell farmers in the Midwest that they lose their biggest buyers overseas. He didn't tell low-income families that the price of everyday goods, from eggs to appliances, would go through the roof. He didn't admit that when you start a trade war with your biggest suppliers, it doesn't make America stronger. It makes life more expensive for the people struggling the most. Let's talk about eggs for a minute, because they've become the symbol of this chaos. A dozen eggs used to cost around $1.50. Now people are paying $4, $5, or even $6 depending on the state. Sure, part of that is inflation, but inflation didn't just fall from the sky. It was made worse by broken trade relationships, higher production costs, and a supply chain that Trump's tariffs helped destroy. See, when Trump hit China with tariffs, China hit back by cutting back on buying America's soybeans and corn, crops that are essential to feeding livestock and poultry. That made it more expensive to feed chickens. Add to that higher fuel prices, more expensive farm equipment because of tariffs on steel, and even pricier packaging materials. And the cost of putting eggs on the shelf soared. Now, regular families are paying the price. And it's not just eggs. Meat, dairy, bread, produce, everything is up. Grocery bills have exploded. People are walking out of stores with fewer bags but spending more than ever before. All because someone wanted to stick it to China and show the world who's boss.
How much are y'all spending on groceries? Because $492 on groceries without food stamps is crazy work. Let's go grocery shopping for me and my 6 kids. I hope I can stay under budget. I go soft about $5. Do y'all remember these? This is all I ate growing up. $598. Ridiculous. What do you do when you're done all you can? 500 some dollars on the groceries. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm a little confused on what my mom and daddy used to mean when they said we don't have McDonald's money. Because in this type of economy, the groceries are grocerying and they're expensive. You can get milk, but you can't afford the cereal. You wanna make spaghetti, but you can only afford the noodles. So what's tea? Because the McDonald's $5 meal, that Happy Meal, is sounding a little bit more reasonable these days.
So this weekend, you're gonna wanna go to your local 99-cent store, Dollar General, grocery outlet, whatever you have nearby that you can stock up on household items and toiletries, things like toilet paper, toothpaste, dishwashing liquid, pet food, and then also like beans, rice, things like that. As much as you can like reasonably store in your house. I don't have a lot of room, but I would recommend getting as much as you can now.
But let's be real, it wasn't just Trump who created this disaster. It was also the millions of MAGA voters who supported him no matter what. The ones who cheered him on when he said America was being ripped off. The ones who ignored economists, dismissed facts, and refused to listen to warnings. The ones who believed every tweet, every rally chant, every lie. They handed this man the power, and now the country is choking on the consequences. It's ironic, isn't it? Many of the people hardest hit by rising grocery prices are the very same ones who backed Trump. Rural communities, farmers, working class Americans, people who believed he was fighting for them. But what did they get? Trade wars that tanked their market, bailouts that barely covered the damage, and higher prices at every turn. And yet, even now, some of them still want to blame someone else. Immigrants, liberals, the media. But the truth is staring them in the face every time they walk into a grocery store. This is what America First really looks like. Empty shelves, overpriced food, and broken promises. Even conservative economists warned Trump that his trade policies would backfire. Businesses said it, analysts said it, but MAGA voters didn't care. They thought they were owning the libs. Turns out they were just owning themselves.
So I'm about 20 minutes outside of Seattle and I just paid $23 for these 4 grocery items, and I'm curious, is that anywhere near like what you would pay in your area, wherever you live? So I got some Nanners. I got some store brand Kroger coffee from QFC, and I got 2 Seattle's Best. They were buy one get one free. This was $23.36. Is that high, low, or normal?
Remember when Trump said he would bring prices down on day one? Over $6 for a box of cereal should be a crime. I mean, I get it that the guy needs some time to work, but how much time you need? This is supposed to be like the cheapest stuff in here, I feel like. Beans and cans. This stuff should all be 50 cents. And then I shouldn't have to buy the one looks like it was made in somebody's living room. I can't really afford the good stuff, so I guess I'm gonna get these bonbon bums. Think about why they have different prices on just different versions of the same thing. Like they'll have the expensive version, the mid version, and then the cheap version. Why do you think they do it that way? Like, yeah, sure, profits. I don't think that's the only reason. It's like this so that you know your place. It really sucks when you wake up. I always tell people to wake up, but you should really avoid it. They do it so you know your place. You feel like shit when you can only afford the cheap version, and you're left to felt like that's the version that you deserve. Agree with me, disagree with me, it doesn't really matter. There's a system set in place.
Let's talk about how these tariffs worked. Trump imposed them on billions of dollars worth of goods from countries like China, Canada, and Mexico. These are major trading partners, nations that America buys from and sells to. By slapping tariffs on imports, Trump made it more expensive for American companies to buy raw materials and goods. That increased their production costs, which then got passed on to the consumers. In other words, you pay more so he can claim he's being tough. At the same time, foreign countries hit back with their own tariffs on American exports. That meant U.S. farmers, who depend heavily on exports, suddenly had fewer buyers. Their crops sat in silos and sold. Meanwhile, food producers started cutting back. Prices rose, and families got caught up in the middle. This isn't leadership. This is distraction dressed up as patriotism. What's even more frustrating is that many of the policies Trump is putting in place will affect the economy for a long time. Trade relationships take time to repair. Trust, once lost, doesn't come back overnight, and businesses don't just snap back into place after years of uncertainty. The damage is long-term. It's beginning to look like Trump doesn't even have a plan. He doesn't care about strategy. He just wants applause. He wants headlines. He wants to be seen as a strongman, even if it means burning down the house to look powerful. And the people who supported him, the ones who believed the blaster and ignored the facts, helped hand him the matches. Now families across America are skipping meals, stretching paychecks, and cutting back just to afford basics. And while Trump's out there giving speeches, pretending to be a man of the people, the actual people are left dealing with the fallout.
Okay, I'm in my box. I just went to Publix. Now, don't come for me with Publix and everything, because this don't look like $200 worth of damn food. Maybe I'm wrong. And this is everything that's out of the bag. So, that's everything out of the bag. Do you think that it's $200 worth of stuff? It's for the snacks for the... my daughter said no. It's for snacks for the next 2 weeks and everything.
So what do you all think? Are you tired of grocery prices rising? Do you think it's time to hold MAGA voters accountable for blindly supporting policies that hurt everyday Americans? And when the next election comes, will people finally vote with their brains instead of their feelings? Let me know down in the comment section. I would love to keep this discussion going. Otherwise, that's it from me. I also have another video about MAGA regrets, and if you enjoy such kind of content, please click up here and enjoy. Also, consider subscribing, liking and sharing because it helps me grow my channel. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, the Joy Report out.